Welcome back everybody, Automotive Inc. here. Today we are finally doing a 2-month follow-up video on the install of the No-Code Genius 2.0, and this is a 12 volt 2 amp charger, trickle charger that you hard mount to the vehicle itself. As you guys know, if you know Loki, I have a parasitic draw. You can hear this little growl sound coming about every, 30 seconds or so, coming from my engine compartment. It's been in the shop 2 or 3 times. When I bought the truck, it had a lot of battery issues, constant draw on it. Ford replaced the battery and they kept it, said they can't figure out anything and that sound is normal. But obviously that has something to do with the battery draw itself. Now before we get started talking about any more, if you look down there in either corner or down below, smash the subscribe button, helps the small channel out. Thumbs up at the end of the video, and then a notification bell so you know I'm posting new content. We have a lot of great new content coming up, and subscribing doesn't cost you a penny, but it does help a small channel out. Now, again, about 2 months ago, I hard installed the No-Code Genius, made sure we are on the back side or right side of the battery management system. This little charger is about 29 bucks when I bought it. It can vary, and I have an install video I will link below if you want to install something similar to this or this exact one. There will be a link on where to find it. Now the hardest part is, again, the Ford dealerships won't touch it because I didn't buy it from them. They say that it's a battery concern and it has to deal with the originating dealership. Now never have I experienced that before, where the dealerships themselves wouldn't actually look at the issue and try and fix it. And it spent several weeks, I guess it all adds up to almost a month in regards to this issue down at the dealership. And once they actually gave me a loaner, so it wasn't a huge deal, but it's about an hour away to take it down there, and they basically say that they can't figure it out and that the battery's fine and everything. So kind of a bummer there. Now, like I mentioned in other videos, they told me I could shut off the security system, which I do. I turn off the perimeter sensors so that way it won't draw the battery. But that doesn't negate that little chirp sound that we have down in the steering column area. And it's going to get to the point where my son will bring his tools over, his multimeters and all that crap, and we'll try and figure it out ourselves where that's drawing it. But then again, Ford, in my experience, even if you take it to them and say this is the problem, if they can't replicate it, they won't touch it. So this is the follow-up to the No-Code Genius. So when I drive out of my driveway in my other car, the perimeter lighting will turn on because the key senses it. That only happens twice a day. The rest of the time the truck just kind of sits here, and I really haven't had to have really anything else on. Everything's shut off. Now, you can shut off the perimeter lighting, but then that's kind of a nice feature to have when you approach it in the dark parking lot somewhere where the truck will light up and kind of give you that sense of security, I guess, if you will. And I actually like having that light kick on. But that doesn't seem like it should be what's draining or killing this battery. It really has to do it. Now, if I don't drive the truck and it stays plugged in, the No-Code Genius will keep the battery right around 60% over a week or two. I unplugged it 2 days ago and didn't, because I drove the truck and I wanted to just see how quick that is draining it. And when it drains it, it'll automatically start shutting stuff down. So if you open the door, dome lights don't work, the center infotainment system won't turn on like normal when you open the door and kind of light up the Ford emblem, which is fine. But the dome light's not coming on, that sucks. And the only way to defeat that is then to drive it, and then the battery needs to be over about 50% to have that feature come on again. But as long as it's over 50% and it draws down, it will turn those off. And then once you just turn it on, cycle the key, it will turn back on until it gets back low. But I got my handy dandy little battery tester here. We're going to see where it's at after only 2 days of this. And this is what's troubling is the No-Code was not a fix, it was a band-aid. But to keep the battery when it gets cold from, not being able to start the truck or to completely go bad again. But really, it's kind of disappointing that, they won't fix this issue. So we're going to go in here, we're going to hit enter on my little meter tester, or my battery tester here. I can link this tester down below. I got it cheap a few years ago, but I think it's a little bit more expensive now. So we're going to hit battery. In vehicle you can do, we'll kick that on. You can pretty much get the same readings if you go AGM or regular. I'll show you here. So we'll go regular. This is a 750 cold cranking amp, so the CCA. And you can find your battery ratings on the actual tags unless it's so old. We'll kick this over here and we'll see what it's at. Surface charge detected, I highly doubt that. So turn headlights on. So it's kind of a little sophisticated little meter here. Let's go turn the headlights on and off and see what happens. Okay, so we're back here, so let's go back in here. Let's go battery test, in vehicle. We'll just do AGM this time, who cares. 750. All right, this is a good recharge here. And state of charge is 81%. I didn't start the vehicle. So again, when I read this a few weeks ago, it was down to 38%. So let's just go back here. Let's hit escape. We'll go battery test, in vehicle. Let's go back to regular. And in cold cranking amps. And 635 out of that. And again, same reading, so you can kind of see that. So as we go through this, you'll probably hear that little chirp that I've shown in other videos. So I disconnected this whole thing again, and you can see if you leave these hooked to the battery long enough, sometimes you can get it, but now you can actually see the true state of charge, so 56%. And I don't know if we'll hear that chirp while I'm talking here. You might have heard it just there. But that's how fast it's going to drain that battery. Now, if we can hear it here in a second, it's coming from this area. And again, this is going to be something you might have heard it there. It always happens when I'm talking. If I shut up, the video would be boring, and then you might hear it. Waiting. There it is again. So at the end of the day, the little NOCO helps immensely. You know, because if you just go take it, if it gets down below 40% and you take it out for a short drive, it's just not going to be enough to get it up. Maybe if you take it a couple hundred miles. And so more than likely, let's call Ford one more time and see if they can find this issue, because I've had some viewers say they have a similar discharge issue and they've installed similar type trickle or maintainer chargers to these. I haven't just seen enough of this on a truck before, so it's definitely disappointing. And but I would highly recommend the little NOCO Genius because it's so small. It bolts up easy. You can buy a kit that you can install the actual plug down on the bumper if you want, with an extender. And so it's good. It's better than it was by installing this, but again, that was just a band-aid, and I never wanted to purport to anybody that it was going to be the fix, obviously, because it basically band-aids the situation so you don't have a dead battery, but now you have to plug it in all the time like a diesel. And so very disappointing there. Hopefully I can get an appointment this next week while I got time to take it down there, and they can see if they can address this issue at least one more time. It doesn't quite fall into the lemon law here in Colorado, so won't be trying to go that route. And as you guys know, we're going to have to obviously go with the next version of truck coming up, whatever that may be. And so I'll just drive out low-key because the rest of the way the truck's been actually really good so far. But as always, guys, I do appreciate you guys being here. That is the update on the NOCO Genius 2.0. If you guys have any questions or comments, please put them down below, and I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll catch you on the next one.